Good evening, folks. We are going to get going on some more coding. Now, when we last left the stream, I think we were having our mayor, uh, yes, working on wiring in our work trees pack into our large loops. And let's see how it's done. Now, I think that it was going to hand off at some point. Maybe we did that already in the last session. Yeah, we can see that it's done a lot, so we might just skim through this and see. All right. Yeah, I think it started reading its handoff mail. Did we see this last time? I don't think so. Only the flat read works. Nested JQ reads are not working. We answered this question. Yeah, this is from last session. Now I think we're heading forward. We have a lot of subagents, so we know what transformations to do. It looks like it worked hard. Now, will this all work? I guess we're going to find out, but that's kind of the engineering department's job. Okay, we've got some get and get JSON, set and set JSON, and unset. So all of this has been, all right, we've got our wrapper command that takes care of metadata, setting metadata. We've got 9 formulas all using it. We've got a few that haven't been done yet. Catalog decoupling, this new antiquarian formula to pull in our own prototypes to the catalog. And then we haven't exported a command from the rig pack, and we need to see if that works. Uh-huh. I think that's going okay. I think if we keep going on the work list, then like I really think, can you push this without testing it? Can you test it without pushing it? So it's not really talking about testing yet. Do we consider branch fully tested? If so, I would push it. I was tempted to say 2 if that would affect testing. All right. It's been thinking for a really long time. This is all kind of in one turn because I answered a question and it's continued counting stuff against its previous quote unquote conversation. All right, let's see. Where were we at? Oh yeah, we were doing this USO one, and blue is the authoritative color, green is the guessing color, and we've underlined where the liars are. So in each region, there's exactly one number that's wrong. So in any number that has only one number, that number is wrong. And it refers to the number of orthogonal neighbors, north, south, east, and west. Uh, and so we've deduced some already. We're using X for shaded area or bomb if you want, number of shaded areas or number of bombs. The reason we haven't marked anything here yet is we don't know if this 2 is lying. And I think that we tried all of the combinations and determined that we couldn't figure out dispositively another marking for these. That seems a little weird, but and then we were experimenting down here with whether or not, well, we know that this 3 is correct because this 0 is wrong, and so we were trying an experiment around the 3. The wrapper is thoroughly tested. The end-to-end run is not tested. Yeah, let me push. Oh, is there a git login problem? We're on the main branch. I haven't committed separately to this, so whatever it's done, it or prior sessions have done to itself. But yeah, 300k tokens, I mean, I'm starting to think about handing off, and so should it. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So all of that context consumption was basically like a single turn. Did it say to like 200 something, 200, 300? Yeah. So it did it all in one, basically one turn. Let's see. Maybe I'll turn out the lights for a second while I check on the SSH key. It says everything's up to date in Gas County incremental. We've got Worktree's adoption and Worktree's adopt Smith prototype. Is it pushing you? The SSH key is not available in my environment. They're on Worktree's adoption. So I need to be in that Worktree. I was able to run git push just fine from there. Just out of curiosity. So I think we'd have that on the remote branch, yeah, but there's no PR yet. Okay, so I think that's back to normal. Nothing super secret happened. I think it has access, like, it hasn't had trouble pulling stuff with the GitHub command line tool before. So as a reminder, the rule is that we can't isolate both any sort of white unmarked square uh, by some bombs. All the white squares have to be orthogonally connected, like a big Go group. So for instance, this is illegal, which is kind of interesting because that's one way that we might mark a 3 that wasn't a liar. Like if we put this here as an experiment, we can't mark both of these, so the 3 is a liar. So this 2 and this 2 are telling the truth. It has to look like so. This 3 has to be telling the truth from the other region. This 1 has to be telling the truth. It looks like this. We can try the other case, which is in red and blue world. For both of, basically, we can't have 2 liars in a group. So this one would have to be correct and this one would have to be correct. They both take 1 bomb apiece. This 2 has to be incorrect, so there has to be at least 1 more bomb here. Actually, exactly 1 more, because we're not allowed to put 4 bombs around anything. It just, oops. These are actual things that we reasoned out last time. Okay, the branch is half done, but it's been preserved remotely. I guess that was the point. It's continuing the work list. All right. We know that this 0 is telling the truth because it has no neighbors. And we locked that in, kind of. These can't both be dots because that would create 2 liars. They can't both be X's because that would lock in this white space. So we have to be getting exactly 1 bomb here and here. But I think we would have inferred that anyway. Let's investigate the case where this lying 2 is a 1. meaning that since we've already seen a bomb, none of these are bombs. We'd have to have, oh, oops, I did it again. I'm going to put these in the corner, bottom corner, so that we can examine more than one hypothesis at the same time. Notice that because this 0 is a liar, this has to be a bomb, which makes these zeros liars, like their clues don't help us anymore. This 3 has to be the liar, and that's because we know that this has to be exactly one bomb, and that would put 2 around this 3. So this 2 would have to be correct, and the bomb would have to go here. And the empty spot goes here, and there's a bomb here. Since this 3 is incorrect, this 1 has to be correct, and this is a bomb. Is that as far as the inferences go? I think that might be it. Like, I'm not seeing any white area being cut off, for instance. Let's examine the theory that this is a 3. If it is a 3, that means there's a dot somewhere on one of these. And so there's 3 possible theories, essentially. There's this one. This causes this 3 to be correct, and this 2 to be correct. We're not sure about this 2 and this 1 yet. We would have finished ruling out this 0 here and this 0. We've sort of added the lie that they demand. Okay. We can trigger event and build. This is a record length turn. Sure is. We can complete this session. I think that's good. Okay, GH was auth. I thought so. I think it's a good. I think it's a good point to hand off. How is it keeping track of the fact that that's our longest turn? Because I think it's right. Across all these months, this is like the longest single turn that I've done with Claude Code. All right. We've got, I guess we need some more colors for more theories here. The dot could be here. This is all on the theory that this is a 3. If the dot is here, then the 3 is the liar. The 2 is correct. The 1 is also correct. Well, here we would have sort of, we've trapped a lot of white behind this wall, and this has to not be a bomb. Which is interesting. Since this one is a liar, this would have to be a bomb. This 2 is accurate, so these would have to not be bombs. And this 3 is accurate, so these would all be bombs. That's a fairly far-reaching, interesting theory. Does it cause any other contradictions? This 2 has to escape. This 3 would go like so. We haven't quite enveloped all of this white right here, but it's pretty close actually. The border stretches to here and this way. So this would have to not be a bomb. I'll call that mildly interesting. Final theory is we had this one is the dot, this one is the dot, and then we have tried this one as the dot. So this is on the theory of this being a 3. If this one is a dot, then this bomb has to be taken so that this becomes a liar. What we were sort of hoping was that things would coalesce a little bit more. Like some of these colors would tell us, oh yeah, it definitely has to be a 1, or this has to be a 3, or all of the theories agree about the status of XYZ space. But so far they don't. All right, our mayor handed off, and we're back. Just about. Okay, I think I'm gonna back off of this area, which means we're losing so much information. There we go. Okay. Usually if a theory has to go that deep, it's gonna be trouble. Well, this is kind of interesting. Mildly interesting. If this one right here, if we mark the bomb over here, we know it's not lying. So this would bring in empty spaces right here and here. And that would cause the 0 not to be lying. So that can't be the case. There's no bomb there. Yeah, another way to look at it, you know, there has to be exactly one bomb here or here. we know that there's more than 0 bombs, and we can't put 2 because 1 is accurate. Maybe we've got something down here. I mean, there's certainly a way to make it so that all of them are correct. And then we can add stuff to the side to make some of them lie, that kind of thing. If this one is the liar, then it's a dot and 2 X's. Let's try that for a little bit. Again, I want to put things in corners. We have to, this is why I was looking at this. We have to let, well, assuming that this is white area, which I don't think we can assume. Do we have a rule about no adjacent X's? Is that for real? Yeah, we do. That's interesting. You know what? I probably violated this rule at some point during one of my many. I mean, well, that's annoying. So up here, no adjacent X's, right? See how helpful this is? This is a liar. Everything else is right. Dang it. How annoying. No adjacent X's. Very useful. Look how useful this is. We can't close in this area. There we go. We know that this 3 is accurate because of that 0 over there. I think I'm just making these puzzles too hard on myself. This one became a liar. If we do stick a bomb here, then we gotta not put one here because this is getting kind of closed in. We can't do both of these as bombs. We've got to do exactly one of these as a bomb. Now our theory about the liar being here. This is much more salient now. We can't have X's next to each other. We've got to extend this out this way. But we know that this is correct. This one is a liar, so this is a 2, like so. And we would know that we can't put a bomb here. On the other hand, if this one is correct, I don't know how to say correct. I guess we're going to do minus plus or something like that. If this is correct, then this is a bomb and this is not. So here we actually made a derivation that makes sense. This one has to be telling the truth, so there's a bomb here. If this is correct, then this dot makes this 2 a liar. It's not clear whether this is a bomb or not. All right. It says it has everything it needs. One hand off and then go. Like, to me, the more hands off I get with this, the happier I am. Because it means that the superstructure that we built around the agents is working. Oh, well, this one can't be lying. It's got 2 zeros here, so it's got to get 2 bombs around it. And there's got to be nothing here to block in this white space. There's nothing here. That's another inference. These are both dots. This square seems to be free to be a bomb or not a bomb. That's kind of weird. I mean, I've said before that I think that's an indicator that if we infer that there's not a unique solution, then that's not going to be the right way to go. Okay, if this one is wrong, and this is nothing, and this is nothing, then this has to be a bomb. And this one can't be a bomb because it would lock in all this white space back here. I think so far all of our clues have still been obeyed. In red world, this can't be a bomb because it's next to a bomb. And this has to be a bomb. And this can't be a bomb. We need to pick one of these to be wrong. So looking at red world, there's a line of bombs that needs to be broken right here. So this one is the liar, and this one has to be telling the truth. And it's interesting that we've covered a lot of the puzzle. Maybe not the whole puzzle, but a lot of it. Actually, here's the red line. This would also cause. And that would force there to be a bomb here to finish off this 2. There has to be a bomb here in this scenario to make this 2 right here a liar. And this has to not be a bomb so that it cuts off. It doesn't cut off all of this white space. I'm just seeing all of the white space being connected here. Which, I mean, I think it is. We were pretty careful. All right. If all the clues are right, red looks like a complete solution. we'd like to know that it's a unique solution. So we'd need to keep carrying on with Greenland. If we find a contradiction in Greenland, then red is the actual answer. I mean, I think it probably is anyway, since we found it. We found a disposition for every single square. Still working hard. All right, let's see if we can take green to the finish line. Oh, there is a contradiction. I didn't notice, but if we follow this line through green, bomb, 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 they're cut off. They're cut off from the rest of the puzzle. So green's actually wrong, and all of our red marks are correct, and that is the answer. And it's interesting that we got there by starting with a consideration about whether this one is a liar or not, which turns out it is. There we go. I'm just going to get that uncertainty out of the puzzle. Is this a good puzzle design? I think it's pretty fun. As long as if I had remembered this no adjacent x's clue, it would have been like a lot simpler. Yeah, I do. I think that the presence of lying clues really confuses my brain. Like, I've played other puzzle variants where there were lying clues and or the clues are off in some way, and it really, really messes me up. Uso tatami. Lying tatami. Right. Each rectangle has exactly one cell with a number, which is not identical to the length of the rectangle. No four corners. All rectangles are one cell wide. Well, speak of the devil, yeah. Here we go again. Uso tatami. Oh, yeah. Make sure we get our solution out of the way. There, we got the rules for reference. Still working hard. And so it's kind of a reverse, right? Every rectangle is one cell wide. Oops. Of course, I used my erase color. One cell wide and contains one number, and the number cannot be the length of the thing. So this one is easy. We can't close it off here. We got to keep it going. This one can't be 3, but it could be 1 or 2 or 4. This one can't be 1, so that's an easy one. We also got to cover the whole thing. That's kind of helpful. Here's one. This one can't make a 4 corners. And in this puzzle, that's very helpful because all of the rectangles are one cell wide. This can't be a 3, but it can be a 2 or a 4. Okay, we'll just keep drawing these. Can't be a 1, so we gotta keep on trucking here. Oops. We can't go this way because we would have to stop at 2. And we can't go this way to make a 2. We can't go this way to make a 2. We can stop at 1, and we can go to 3. This is an interesting puzzle. Oh, this the 4 corners thing. That's what's gonna keep taking us forward. So right now this one's illegal. It needs to extend to either side. This one met this one. This one has to either stop here or go all the way over. This one can stop here or go over 1. I think it's starting to get trickier because we've done all the easy stuff and now we gotta find things to ignore, I guess. If we did go up on this one, we can't go exactly up to 3. We'd have to cut it off here or here. Are there any other 4 corner meetings? Ways we might cause a 4 corner meeting. Oh, if we extended this 4, that would cause a 4 corner meeting. So we can't extend it. And now we've got this. And now we have to extend this 2, one way or the other. That was an interesting inference I hadn't seen before. If we extend this 3, so we can't take it all the way out to 3, but we also can't take it to 2, because that would cause a 4 corner meeting. So it's got to be a 1. And this can't be a 4 corner meeting, so it extends, but it has to keep extending to not be a 2. There we go. I'm sort of enjoying the interplay of this rule with other things that I think I know. We can't take this 2 all the way up to here because it causes a 4 corner meeting. We can't take this 4 to the left. Okay. So we can't take this to the left because it'll cause a 4 corner meeting. There we go. We can't take this 2 to the right because it will cause a 4 corner meeting. We have to take this 2 to the left so that it's not size 2. There we go. What an interesting rule. And enjoying its implications quite a bit. It's saying the help is terse on the command that we just invented a session or two ago. I guess it knows who to blame. Okay, so we can't extend this to the right. And the reason why is if we did it to 3, then it would be a 4-corner meeting. If we did it to 2, then it would be the wrong size. So this has to happen. And now if we extended this up, then this would be the correct size, the matching size. There we go. A 4-corner meeting prevented. And this has to extend again, one way or the other. This too is interesting. If it extended upward, then it would cause a 4-corner meeting. So it doesn't. And then it needs to be not the matching size. We're preventing a 4-corner meeting here. I didn't notice this before, but even though we don't know what this is attached to, we can tell that it's going to cause a rectangle right here. So this too going vertical. Well, actually, this guy needs to make a dot, so it's got to go this way. That's simple. And then this can't be a 2. A little too simple. But we're not often trapping blank behind a number. Well, this one definitely can't extend the full way. It could extend to 3. But that doesn't work because we'd have to extend this 2 up like so. And then this blank area would have to extend here to this 3. But that would be a 3 size blank area that matches. So we can't have 4. And we can't have 3. I mean, we still can't extend up here regardless. This can't be size 2. There you go. This can't be a 4-corner meeting. Obviously, if this went to the right now, then that would be fine. I'm liking this puzzle. That it's got some clever stuff to it. All right. Looks like it's still rolling strong. Jogging my table. 1 hour-ish hydration check. It's really nice to see new follows. That's really cool. Maybe that's coming from my video game playing yesterday. Still, yeah, happy to see anybody who's along. Whether you're on YouTube or on Twitch, yeah, if you want to leave me some chat, I'm happy to see it and happy to respond, assuming I notice in time. Assuming I'm not too intent on a puzzle or something. You're welcome to try regardless. Let's think for a minute about the idea that this or this or this. I'm trying to think about whether blank being trapped is a thing that we can exploit. I don't really think so. Oh, oops, I missed this. Well, this is definitely a thing. There we go. This is a 4-corner meeting that we just prevented. So it's coming out to here so far. And it might come out to here. Those are only the 2 choices really. And same for this one here. Comes out to here or maybe here. If they don't claim this square, then it's got to go all this way up to this 2 at least. We should think about who can reach this square right here. There's only one number in line with it. If we put a wall here, then this would make a one width rectangle, and it wouldn't align with any number. So I don't think that's legal. And then we can do the same thing with this square. There's nobody left to take it. Also, this can't be length 3, so it's got to be length 4. And the same with this square. There were just no choices about any of that stuff once that started happening. The most interesting inferences left, because none of these 4s, this 3, they're all good. They don't contribute anything to the puzzle anymore because there's no way to make their segment not lie. But there are ways to make these 2 segments not lie. Then the thing that we're managing the most is going to be like, okay, so we can't take this 2 over to here because it'll cause a 4-corner meeting. So this has to be a wall. We can't take this over this way because that would cause a 2 segment. It wouldn't be a lie anymore. And we can't go this way because that would be the truth too. It sort of looks like there's another four-corner meeting, right? If we take this 2 down here, we can't stop here because that's four-corner meeting. There's no way to cause a four-corner meeting right here. That means we're going to have to resolve who this square belongs to on other grounds. And the only other grounds is making this not a liar. It kind of suggests that we're going to have to put a line here for some reason in order to be able to solve the puzzle, right? Like we're assuming that we can solve the puzzle. Yeah, still working hard, it looks like, on getting the prototype loop. We might be short enough for certain theories here. Okay, well, here's one. This is there's only one actually square that can reach this one. There we go. That is a rule. We have to have a number in our rectangle. Which simplifies things, obviously. Now we can't make a 2 go this way. This is now a four-corner meeting. Okay, I guess that's another way it could be resolved. So that goes like so. And now we have to keep going because we can't make a 2 in a 2. If it stopped here, that would be a four-corner meeting, so we can't stop there. Got to keep going. And wherever these two meet, they're going to draw a vertical line, the 1 and the 3. So if we drew this, then we're going to have a four-corner meeting at one of these two places. So we can't draw that. We have to draw this. Okay. Let's see how we did. I guess I could just name off the segments to the side. 4, 1. Oh, okay. We could do that for every single number in the grid. 4, 1, 1, 3, 2, 5, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 1, 3, 2, 5, 4, 1, 2. I mean, I feel pretty confident we already did it, but the next two are, or the next few, 2, 3, 1, 4, 5, 2, 2, 3, 1, 4, 5, 2. Then we've got 1, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. 1, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. 1, 3, 2, 1, 1. 1, 3, 2, 1, 1. Yep, it's the same. Or at least I didn't check orientations and things, but that checksum would be pretty hard to do, I think, if we didn't get it right. View. Write the numbers in some cells. Numbered cells are a single orthogonally contiguous area. The same numbers are not adjacent. A number indicates how many black cells can be seen looking north, south, east, and west until a white cell or the edge of a grid. So it's kind of like reverse vision. Interesting. Or in Simon Tatham, this one's called I forgot to look. Is it view? V-U-E? V-I-U. View. Or just view. All right. You'll have to take my word for it that I definitely couldn't remember any of that. How many black cells can be seen orthogonally until you hit a white cell at the end of the grid? Excuse me. Let's use our notation for there's something here. We got, maybe I'll stick it in the top left corner. There's something here. There's something here. There's something here. There's something here. If this one can see a black cell, I guess this is sort of opposite, right? Dang. For shading, maybe I need to make circles or dots. Dang. How do I don't have a good nomenclature for this. We're gonna continue using this for shading because shading is annoying. There has to be shading here because there's no shading on any of these. Oh, that might work. How about we put blanks where the numbers go? And since this one, it couldn't see any black cells in the east, west, or south directions, it had to be able to see one in the north direction. That's what we're counting on. And then this one has to be able to see one, and then there's a number. Do we have restrictions on the values of numbers? Here, sorry, I didn't read that part super carefully. Right, numbers greater than or equal to 0. Okay. So we could make a really big one of this, potentially. All right, final action, the handoff. That's wild. So what's wild about this is that it didn't ask me to do anything. The previous session handed off. It did a complete session by itself, and now it's handing off again. Fabulous. I was completely out of the loop on this mayor session. And if I hadn't been peeking at it, we wouldn't have seen any of this. It would have just arrived. And maybe some future mayor would keep working and working and working, and eventually it would get interrupted when it needs something from me. Yep, the pain is dead. Let's give it a second to restart. Weird. Weird, but cool. All the numbers have to be connected. This one has to be at least 3. That's interesting. Can't you put any number? Oh, right. If it has to be at least 3, right? Because there's no, then we have to put at least 3 like this, right? And now the numbers have to be connected, so we got to let this one escape, like so. It is actually a 3. I'm kind of liking this. I kind of like this puzzle. This one's at least a 2 right here. This one is also at least a 2. This one's at least a 1, no more than 2. Ah, there can't be a shaded area here because then this one would see too many. This one can see at most 2 x's in these 2 directions, so there's got to be one here. This one can see x's in 2 directions. You can't put them both here and here because then this one would see too many. This isn't quite right. There's another solution that looks kind of like this. They're not exactly like bombs, right? Because these things can see out for a really long time. So they're outside of the 8 neighborhood, as we say, right? Like there are 8 cells that are diagonal or across, up and down, left and right from this 3, right? That's the 8 neighborhood. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But in this puzzle, you look beyond your 8 neighborhood. You don't look at these diagonal ones. You only look out from in the cardinal directions, but you can look as long as you want. This one has to see at least 2 because it's next to 0 and 1. Here they go. All the numbers are almost all connected. We would know there has to be a number here or here. Here's an interesting, I would call this kind of an insight. Imagine there was a bomb here. Then there's nothing here or here. And there has to be another one here to satisfy. Oh, well, that's not quite right either. It could be, well, it would have to go, we have to connect up this 3 to the rest of the puzzle, like so. And then this one has to see visibly this second one. There has to be something here. And this one has to see a third one. And then there has to be a number here. This number has to escape. This number would have to be 0. But this number would also have to be 0. And that's illegal. We can't have 2 numbers that have the same visibility next to each other. Therefore, this is not a bomb. It has to be a number. Now, the only way to get 2 to up to snuff is an X here and here. And the only way to get 3 up to snuff is this way. Oops, that's kind of a big line. Right here. And then there's got to be a number here to escape. And there's got to be a number next to this 1. Because it can only see this one black square. This one can't be a 1, a 2, or a 3. And those are the only options for how much to see here. We can see 1 or 2 in this direction. So it's got to be 0. There's got to be something here. This number we can tell. We see all its neighbors now. And the termination of all the x's in those directions. This is a 1. This one is a 3. This is a 0. This one is a 1. And this one can't be a 1. It's got to be a 2 or a 3. But that's kind of determined outside of this thing's context. I think the mayor had pretty good instructions. And if they didn't run into a problem, it's finding some kind of issue. And we're kind of like running into interesting issues that relate to an artifact versioning scheme that we made, which is drafts of prototypes if you want. And then some things that don't fit inside of that, like a viewer that sits atop all of the different prototypes or all the different games. So we used to have this reading in the main tree, but it should actually be reading inside of the collaboration branch. So that's not quite right. This is a pure producer. It starts it writes the first thing into the bundle. That's true. Any leg that reads bundle dependencies must do so from inside the work tree after acquiring it. All right. Acquire first is the correct pattern. And this would be a bug. Okay? That seems sensible enough. I'm sort of man engineering right now, but I don't think we're that far off. Okay. So if there's a number next to this, then it would also be a 1, which is forbidden. So this has to be a bomb, and this would be a 3, and this will be a 2. This one's at least a 3. It can keep kind of going like this. Although it can't go all the way down because that would block off part of the puzzle. There needs to be a number either here or here to link the two halves of the puzzle together. In this context, whether this is a 2 or a 3 is free. So we're not going to learn this number by looking at this context, right? We have to figure out how to resolve this in some other way. And it's probably going to have something to do with this can see 2 plus whatever this is. So 2 or 3 is what this is. And then its neighbor can't be the same thing. That's the problem. Similar problem here. This is a 2 or a 3. And its neighbor can't be the same thing. This is a 3 plus. It feels like we're pretty close to the end, and we should be able to just try the open theories, right? If this is an X, then this has to be an underscore, and we can just write out all the numbers and see what happens. And then if we derive a contradiction, then it's not an X, right? So let's try doing that for a bit. The underscore is needed to join the number halves of the puzzle together. All right, then this one would be a 4. This would be a 2. This would be a 1. And to prevent this from becoming a 1, no wait, this would be a 2 or 3. And this is still free. I think that's not going to work. This is a 2. This is a 1. And this is a 3. Is that interesting? It does work. So we need to try the other 2 essential patterns here. We've got hypothesis B. This is an X. This can't be. And now let's count some numbers. This would be a 1. Because it's next. Oh, wait, no, it says it's 2. You can see down these 2 X's. This one is also a 2. So, contradiction. So, blue doesn't work. And the third theory is both numbers. Let's look at that one. Okay, this one would be a 0. It's got no X's adjacent to it. This one would be a 1. It's got just this 1 X down to the south. And this one would also be a 1. So contradiction. So basically the case analysis we're doing here is bomb, empty, empty, bomb, empty, empty, and we just skip bomb, bomb because that blocks off 2 halves of the puzzle. All right, so it is in fact the red theory. And then we were thinking we might be able to resolve this last little corner because actually I can just hit undo because we're just doing red, huh? Red was first, so oops. There we go. And then, okay, so this one can't, this one is a 2 or 3. If this one is a 2, then this is a number. And if this is a number, then this is also a 2. So that would be a contradiction. So this one's not a number, it's a 3. And this is a 3. All right. 2, 3, 1, 0. Or we could do x2, x3, 1, 0. I mean, they don't have x's in this solution. They're just going to have these numbers. 2, 3, 1, 0, 1, 3, 3, 3, 0, 4, 2, 1. 3, 0, 4, 2, 1, yeah. 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 1, 0, 2, yeah. 3, 3. Cool. This was a kind of cool puzzle. I like this one. I don't know why. Can't explain. This is the second session in a row where it just doesn't care. It doesn't need me anymore. Fly free. I love it. Okay, we're pretty close to the end of our Nikori puzzles inside of the Yanko. Again, please correct me if I'm saying that wrong. Puzzle directory. Sheep and wolves. Yagit. Yagi to okami. So that's sheep and wolf essentially. Yagi goat? Goat and wolf? That does look kind of like a goat. It's got horns, right? Let's see. Yagi. Goat. Yeah. Okay. Divide the grid. A region must contain either sheep or wolves, not both. Okay, let's read the rules without looking at it. And must not be empty. You gotta have at least a sheep or a wolf. Actually, it's exactly sheep or exactly wolves, and no nothings. The border lines start and end on the edges of the grid. They can turn at black grid dots, but nowhere else, and can cross themselves except at the black ones. And you don't have to use all the black grid dots. Some of them are optional. Interesting. All right, let's close up some of these. We don't need all of these yet. I thought I'd saved all of these. I don't know why it's maybe I just forgot that one. Yeah, okay. Okay. A region must contain only sheep or only wolves. Lines can only cross not at dot lines. Lines can optionally curve at dot lines. You don't have to go through dot lines. So, I mean, things we can see right away, right? We got to get this sheep away from these goats. We can't just draw one little square here because we're not allowed to just curve here. If we did do, well, let me amend my remarks a little bit. This border is going to be here. But at these places there's not a dot. You got to keep on going. We got to cross. Okay. Same for this one. We got to get this sheep away from these goats. Or, sorry, sheep goats. We got to get these goats away from these wolves. And we got to keep going. We're not allowed to turn, but we are allowed to cross. Hmm. We're allowed to go straight at dot lines, right? Yes. Can't cross, but you may turn 90. The border lines start and end on the edges of the grid. So if we've got these dangling things, we got to keep them going somehow. I guess furthermore, we're not allowed to turn, right? So they can't stop, they can't turn. They gotta go this way out to at least here. Right? Am I wrong? I think this is right. Like, I think that's all forced. Pretty sure. The pins don't have to be rectangular, right? No, not at all. We're going to have a line here or here. If it's this one, it's coming out to here. We could curve this line here, and that would take care of these sheep. But maybe not. I guess we'll see. We definitely got to do all these again. We can't cross here. We have to cross on these ones. They have to keep going until they hit a post. Yep. These guys got to be separated. And just liking the theme. I don't know what it is about it. Every region has got to have a sheep or a goat. I guess that means that the problem with extra lines is that, say we had 2 lines crossing through here. The problem is that we'd create an empty region that doesn't have an animal in it. So we've already kind of done the easy stuff. So for instance, we definitely can't have this line. Doesn't that mean that we can't have this line either? We can't have any of this line all the way between here and here, right? There's no fence there. We couldn't have any of these lines either, because the vertical lines here would fence in nothing. And that's also to the post. Now we're curious about places where, I mean, so all of this is like wolf territory, right? Out to here. And we're concerned with places where wolf territory is touching goat territory. That's where we have to draw lines. Like that's how we drew all of our initial lines. All of this is empty territory. Right, because there are no fences through the middle. So it's got to attach to either, if it attached down here, then we would be taking out this line. We wouldn't quite have let the wolf into the sheep territory, but it's pretty close. Like we'd have to draw a line through here for sure, and we'd probably need another line like through here because they'd be adjacent. Cool. I'm enjoying the puzzle. I think it's really interesting and weird. Another way to look at this is that once we get to a post, we have to go one of the three directions. Now look what happens if we go in this north direction. We pen off all these three guys, that's fine. But we also would pen off this empty area. So there actually can't be the fence going this way. Next, let's examine going straight through. That would be fine. It would pen together two wolves. I'm pretty sure we're obligated to continue this until by hook or by crook it gets to the wall. So it has to turn here or here. We can't have like a dangling fence in the middle of a pen. Like all of the pastures work. They all, or every fence does work to divide regions. All right. Similarly, by this token, we're going to have to send this one west, north, or south. Same here. West, south, north. Sorry, something's tickling my throat. Just a minute. I'm not sure if that's coming through or not. Maybe it went to desktop audio. It's a blurry puzzle for me. It's a little big on my screen, but hopefully it's looking okay for you. Ah, we didn't do this yet. We can turn 90 degrees, but not more than that. So this one is actually connected up through here. So the wolf territory does actually reach here. We do actually have to draw this line. We keep drawing it between the post and the edge. Since we've got no wall through here, we've got to eliminate this line too. So everything up to this line is wolf territory. This line has to be drawn to keep this sheep out of the wolf territory. Then let's extend that between the posts. All right, there we go. So that's all resolved up there. We can't draw this line to cut off this empty spot. Here. It's getting a little late, but late is fun, of course. I think I'll try to finish this puzzle. Then, if whether the mayor is done or not, it's just let's just call it there. Okay, we don't have any dangling edges. We seem to have penned off these sheep and wolves, so our attention kind of turns elsewhere. Oh, well, one interesting thing happened here. We couldn't go this way or this way from this particular post, so we have to draw to the east. That's interesting. We can't draw this line because that would cut off empty area right here. That means that we can't draw through this post because we can't enter a post without exiting it. That would cause dangling fences. So this has to be drawn through to this edge. So far, so good. We can't cross here, so we can mark off these lines between the posts. Probably should have been doing this more. There we go. Any other post to mark off? Yes, there's this one. So we're actually perilously close to wolf territory here. This wolf can wander through here, here, here. There has to be a line, a fence, to fence that wolf away from that sheep right there. That finishes off this post. Like so. This is sheep territory. You can wander all the way over here, and so the wolf needs to be stopped on this line. I can mark off this from the post. I think learning the implications of all these rules is kind of the interesting thing for me. Okay, we're not sure yet if we're going down. Oh, well, we can't go We can't go down from here because we would make an empty area. Therefore, we're definitely heading east. We can't go down from here. That would make an empty area. Okay, 2 or 3 things left to do. We've got this dangling thing right here. We've got to resolve. We've got these wolves and these sheep kind of close to each other. And this one down here, which is a little bit of both. Did I miss anything? Oh, I don't think I did this yet. There we go. Proceeding from post to post. All right. So this is wolf territory over here. This is sheep territory right here. Okay, sheep territory extends down through here. We're not sure how to resolve this. It's probably going to be resolved in another region. Sort of looking for that last inference, you know. Here's one. We can't draw this line to create empty territory. That's helpful. We didn't touch the pivot here. Either direction of this one's going to isolate this wolf down here and leave this as sheep territory. What would happen if we drew... Well, if we went to this pivot, we'd have to take both of these, which doesn't hurt anything, I don't think. Kind of divides things up well. Oh, I didn't see this. The wolf can wander this way and this way, so there has to be a line here to protect this wolf getting to the sheep. And so this pivot has to be taken. Okay, cool. All the wolves are together. We're going to be keeping this wolf away from this sheep one of these ways. Two of them seem kind of equivalent, so we're kind of suspicious that we're going to be taking this line. If we don't take this line, then we're definitely going to have to take this one. And then like this one. That's legal. That might solve the puzzle. Let's try and figure out why it's mandatory. So again, the hypothesis is this and this. We don't have to use this, but if we did use it, that's how it would look. Not really seeing a combination of lines that will cause an empty area. One interesting thing is that wherever there's exactly one of something, we can't divide its area any further. Well, we know we can't go up this way because that will cause an empty region and other bad things will happen. We could go this way and we could go this way. I really like this puzzle. I'm enjoying it. Wow, this is like a really crazy streak. This would be the third mayor session in a row that's just not waiting for me. Like we gave it such a big pile of work that it's just doing its own thing. We actually don't even know for sure, right? Like, okay, it just restarted because it's still reading its, yeah, handoff mail, wake up, that kind of stuff. So either it did 2 sessions, which I don't think it's going that fast. But I think that was 2 in a row. Hiccups, excuse me. All remaining work is Dan gated. All right. Honestly, like only looking at work when it's me gated is ideal. That's as good of a collaboration as I can hope for. I feel like we're really close to finishing the puzzle. If this went through here, then all of this would be dotted. The wolf would be able to get here, and we'd have to go through here. right here. If we don't do that, I mean, I think this is like a really binary choice. It's like either both of these posts go east and the puzzle is done. Well, no, it's not done. If these posts go east, then we have to separate with this double post right here. If, on the other hand, this post goes north-south, like that. Oh, okay. What's weird about this, what would be weird about this, is that we'd have some fences that never reach the outside. They'd go in this circle like this. And I think that is forbidden. Let's check the rule. The border lines of the region start and end on the edges of the grid. I think that's the rule that would get violated right there. All right, so I'm pretty sure we can't pick this one. And we have to pick this one. Here, I'll highlight this though. Can't pick this one. Forced to do this one, and then this one. Oops. We can check the solution, but I'm pretty sure it's going to have, instead of this line down the side, it's going to have these 3 lines. All right, let's check the solution. Yep, so it doesn't have this line down the side, and it does have this bendy and these 2 outward lines. So I'm pretty sure that's the rule that we had to use. I don't know a better way to look at this. We've got kind of like an L shape, but 2, I guess we do the size of the ominoes on each row. 4, 2, 1, 4. I'd count this one again. 4, 2, 3, blah, 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 4. 4, 2, 1, 4. 4 again, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. And this would be 4. We're ignoring this red line here. We can fix that. And it just so happened that we skipped this dot instantly. Okay, so yeah, I'm high confidence we did it right. We did most of this 1, 2, 1, and then we've seen stuff already. 1, 2, 1. The next one is 3, 7, 2, huge 3. 3, 7, 2, huge 3. Yep. And there's a 6 down here. We didn't kind of cover. This big L shape, this big 10 omino. L shape, 10 omino, 6. Yeah, it's all there. I think we did it right. Yeah. Big thumbs up for that one. Something about it made me feel like I was heading off goats and sheep. I don't know what it was. Just the little cute little faces. That's pretty much all it took. All right, what's the deal? Okay. Okay, the state says described, notes feel is stale. The last session resolved that. Finish the stale bead. Okay. Last session resolved this leg splice blocker. They now acquire first so that they can see the artifacts they're working on. When they're talking about model A and model B, they're talking about working by yourself single-threaded or working in collaboration with the orchestrator. Legs run in separate department agent sessions. Each defers as merge. Upstream dependencies live in the work tree, never on the main. That's right. So whenever you're in, you go into the work tree and then you work. That's great. Everything remaining is gated on you. Push work tree's adoption and tutor main. Okay. Check. Like I said, it's kind of their show. Maybe someday I'll go look at this code. Merge branch. Okay. I see. Why is the SSH public key getting denied? I don't understand why it couldn't push those. But it was weird. Push the 2 branches. Great. I just pushed those branches. I think you can go from there. It's going to go verify all that stuff too. Yajidine. Do we know this? Blacken some cells. The number of black cells. I feel like we did do this one. Crossed cells do not count as black cells. Okay, so there might be some in the given information crossed cells. There aren't any in this example. Draw a single closed loop. It must visit all of the leftover cells. No black cells next to each other. Don't paint numbers black. The number of black cells in the direction the corresponding arrow points to. Like I said, I think this one is familiar, but let's just try it. I put the RI there because that's the orthography. For transliterating Japanese pronunciation. Let's see. So like, there are no black cells in this direction. And there is one in this direction. So we can be sure that the loop, the slow link-like loop that we're running, this is a corner, and it goes through here, 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 and here. We can also know that this is not a shaded area because it's adjacent to a shaded area, and that the loop has to go through that corner. We know that there are 2 shaded cells down here, but they can't be adjacent because no shaded cells can be adjacent. And the loop's got to go through here. We know that there are no shading adjacent to shading. So these are corners. The loop must continue. There can be black cells that nothing points to. So like here, for instance. We know that this is made a corner with the other part of the loop and this shaded area. We got to go through here and then up here. And the loop must continue. Here, if we didn't go through this way, we'd have to go through like this and we make a mini loop. So that's not going to work. And that goes like this. The loop continues. This is a corner. This is a corner. We've taken care of all of our arrows now, actually. So the rest of this is just like, well, the loop can't go through here. This is a dead end. It has to go through here. It's a corner. This is also a corner. This has to go through here. Can't have X next to X. Then, we need to have one. I was wrong about the clues. This one needs to be fulfilled. Only one place to do that. And there you go. This was a kind of simple one. It could be harder, I suppose. Yeah, you can see the shape's the same. It seems really familiar, though. Like, we've already done it on stream, maybe. Can't. SSH is still public key denied here. I pushed tutor main. Do I need to? I might need to do some kind of like GH login or something like that. Auth? About? GH auth login. Okay. All right. I see. Okay, one more second. Yeah, we did have to do a GH auth login, it looks like. Right. Okay. All right, looks like that's done. We'll just get rid of that tab. And we're back. Okay. It can't auth to GitHub, but I don't need to. We have the right refs on both. So it can keep working, I guess I decided. but I think it's fine. Huh, that's so weird. Maybe it's Git itself. Maybe the SSH agent isn't running. I'm not sure. I don't know if I really need to figure this out right now. Well, I did SSH, but okay. Well, it's getting a little late. Hmm. Okay, gotcha. All right. It's not showing me as task list, but I assume that it's, yeah, still working hard. Let's pause it there, and hopefully we can pick up again tomorrow. So, hope that was fun for you. As fun for me. We got some puzzles done, but we're also just placed our chips on red and let it ride, I guess. All right. Wow. Have a good night.